What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see from this headline, I've already got my soapbox out ready for this one, and I am in a core belief that Hollywood, when it comes to Hollywood, is out of ideas. I think we've known that for a while. And I think the more and more 2025 seems to go on, the more that just gets solidified. And you can tell from this headline, especially if you're watching this, you're obviously a horror fan, that not only are we now going to be getting the I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel, which is pretty much just a repackaged version of the 1997 film. From what we've read and seen thus far, we got a trailer last week, the first official trailer for it. While it had it had a few moments in there that I thought were pretty good, but overall, it doesn't feel like I'm going to be watching anything different than the original film. Now, some people believe that from what they saw from the trailer, this is going down the path of more of a mystery whodunit type film versus the original film, where we knew who it was. We knew it was Ben Willis the whole time, and it was just a matter of Ben Willis tracking them down, killing them one by one, and then ultimately who's going to survive. This new trailer alludes to you don't really know who the killer is, and it could be anybody, and it's just going to be a matter of does this Ben Willis character somehow pop back up, even though he's been killed. But that happens just about every horror film. The main villain gets killed, but always somehow turns back up. Now, in this new sequel, again, we don't know who's doing it. Obviously, I'm sure we'll find out the closer we get to it. I'm sure there might be enough leaks for us to start putting pieces together. All that to say is, looking at this headline that came out a couple days ago, I held off from doing a video on this because I wanted to see if more was going to come out. I wanted to see if this was going to hold true, if there would be any redactions as far as, oh, that was just a rumor, that's not true. But nothing has come out, and actually more has come out confirming this. Urban Legend Reboot from Screen Gems will explore urban legends in the digital age. Really, this is where we're going. And it feels like, again, as you've heard me say before, Hollywood studios, studio executives, we just keep going back to the well of what was popular in the 90s, especially when it comes to horror films. And we're pretty much just saying, hey, if it was popular, reboot it. If it has a cult following, reboot it. We don't care. Let's just make money. And even if we don't make that much money, let's just try and make more than the budget, and then we'll be happy. Let's just push content out there. Doesn't matter if it's quality content. Doesn't matter if the fans want it. Doesn't matter if it has a cult following. Just push it out there. And here we are, Urban Legends getting a reboot, which is why? Why are we going down this path? It just makes zero sense to me. I rather see more original stories, new ideas coming out, especially within the horror space. But nope, let's just keep going back to the well that's practically ran dry. And fans are, I'm one of them. So I'll say is, I'm not going to speak for all fans, but I am one of the fans that I'm tired of seeing this. Now, I think you can make an argument when it comes to like prequels. I think valid arguments depending upon the story can be made. When it comes to sequels, I think depending upon the situation and the story, an argument can be made. But when it comes to reboots and remakes, I'm not a fan of it. Leave the originals alone. If you want to keep adding to the universe, again, depends on the story, then maybe. Otherwise, we don't need to keep rebooting franchises. It's just, to me, it's just a waste of time. Give me something new and original. So we're going to go through this article, details, see what we're going to be finding out here in the early days of this Urban Legend reboot. So Screen Gems is developing a new take on 90s slasher urban legend. Who isn't doing that? I mean, everyone's doing it now, apparently. And THR reports that Shahara Wakefield will write the script with Gary Doberman producing. Neil Mortz is also in talks to produce with the reboot in early development. Okay, so this isn't something that's getting a green light. This is something that they're pretty much already in the process of putting it together. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get casting here in the next few months. some casting information coming out. THR details, while plot details are unknown, sources say the story aims to be an examination of what an urban legend looks like in the post-digital world. So we're pretty much saying social media, we're saying influencers, and that's what it's going to turn into. Cyberbullying and all that stuff, which we have seen several films coming out or being announced between end of last year into this year. And we've even done some trailer reviews and reactions on some films that where like Skill House that we just did a trailer review on. You're taking a bunch of influencers, you're putting them in a house, and whoever gets the most amount of likes survives. Whoever gets the least amount of likes dies. I mean, is this really the path we're going down? Are we creating a new subgenre within horror for social media or social media influencers? I feel like this is where this one's going to be going. In the Jamie Blanks directed 1998 slasher starring Jared Leto, Alicia Witt, and Rebecca Gayheart, a college student suspects a series of bizarre deaths are connected to urban legends. The original slasher was followed by 2 sequels, Urban Legends Final Cut, released theatrically in 2000, and the direct-to-video from film Urban Legends Bloody Mary in 2005. Neither one of those were that great. Obviously, we knew we would get a second film out of that. That was just the trend for these films in that time, and it obviously made complete sense why the third one went direct to video, which again was not that good. The original Urban Legend was written by the late Silvo Horta. Paul Leo Lee wrote here on Bloody Disgusting back in 2021, Jamie Blank's debut is hardly the first horror movie to draw inspiration from urban legends. The 1983 portmanteau film Nightmares yields a rather faithful adaptation of The Killer in the Basket, whereas another anthology, 1997's Campfire Tales, borrows from 3 other different legends. And of course, the basic plots of When a Stranger Calls and Black Christmas are based on The Babysitter and The Man Upstairs. Yet, unlike the aforesaid films, this film is forthcoming about the influences and complete embraces these outlandish yarns for all they are. Let's see if we have anything else here. Paul continued, Urban Legends is accused of being too imitative of Scream. There is no doubt Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson's movie made its existence possible in the first place. However, Silvo Horta's subversion of the film's entire motif is something that goes unnoticed. With Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer returning to life, okay, we'll come back to that, and fresh take on urban legends on the horizon, it seems safe to say that the 90s slashers is officially back, and that's where it ends. So I'm not gonna. I mean, Scream obviously has come back to life, but they've also have a few films, 2 films, a third one on the way under their belt to bring that franchise back. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not saying that franchise has returned to life. I mean, a lot's going to hinge on this next film, but I guarantee you, if this next film in that franchise, let's just say doubles their budget as far as the box office, or even makes half, more than half back. So let's say if it was 50 million and they make 100 million, expect to see a sequel, expect to see another one. And it's gonna feel very much like the 90s where Scream came out. I Know What You Did Last Summer was trying to follow suit, and then we got Scream 2. But Scream was, again, one of those films and franchises that was just far more popular than I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I think that's going to still hold true today. But yeah, here we are. We're going to get an Urban Legends reboot, and I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up with a sequel as well. But that's the horror news update we have for this video. Urban Legend is getting a reboot. It seems like if you are a 90s slasher horror film, odds are you're going to get a reboot. You're going to get a remake. So if you're one of those individuals who's a part of those films, stick by your phone, because if your character survived, odds are you'll probably get brought back for one reason or another. And even if you were killed, Scream has broke the glass ceiling on that. Scream is going to be bringing back characters and actors who were 100% killed off in their films, but they're bringing them back. So obviously there are no rules apparently anymore. So that's going to do it for this horror news update. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Urban Legend, now added to the list, getting a reboot from Screen Gems. We don't have any dates yet, but I'm sure we will get some in the coming months. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.